reading something and word over, actually there are even men who take a break, right? Probably it's more like an Indian situation wherein women only take a break for professional or personal responsibilities. However, what happens over during this time is that we get so involved with our own internal organization that we start doubting our own abilities. We are less confident, we wear down, and we do not know whether we want to come back, how can we come back, what kind of roles and responsibilities can we take back. So there are many, many questions. There's a mother's guilt, there's a family commitment, there's a question of whether we can adjust, whether we can adapt to the newer kind of environment. So all that starts taking a toll on all of us. And the obstacles of returning back is not just internal, it also is outside us. There's a business landscape wherein there are already few people who have climbed the career ladders, right? Organization feel that, we don't know whether she can now contribute to the organization, right? She has a small baby at home, or she has elderly people to take care at home, whether she'll have time to give to the organization or not, right? Whether she'll be able to adjust to complex environment or not. So there are questions corporates also start having in terms of whether a person can contribute, and all that adds on to the anxiety and the entire process of getting back to a professional career. At this stage, the first step which you really have to do is basically you have to come from yourself. And we've developed a framework which is basically I can see, and I can see myself back on my professional track. I can see myself as a leader of a corporate world tomorrow. I can see myself as a leader of my own enterprise tomorrow. I can see myself as a successful, empowered, independent women of tomorrow, right? And it has to start from that realization that I have the potential to be there. Once you do that, then everything will fall in place, and all the answers are in this I can see, and let's look at what they are. But before that, any guesses? What are the different things in this I can see which helps you get back to your professional journeys? Take a guess. These are the first letter of those words. Confidence, okay. Courage, okay. Enthusiasm. Initiative. Breaking comfort zone, okay. That's a good start, I must say. Right, so yes, but just to reframe all of that. So the first I is integrate your support system, right? Uh, honestly, many of my students or the women I talk to, they have this thing of, our family is doing certain kind of a favor to us because they let us do our education or let us work. Nobody is doing any favor. You've given your bit to them, and it's now their time to give their bit to you, right? Nobody does any favor to anybody. We all deserve it. And we should be confident enough to ask for it, right? Without any guilt, because you've done your bit. So integrate your support system. Get your family, your friends, your parents, your in-laws, your siblings together to see that how can you have a support system which can help you do what you want to, right? Study further, go back to the job, start your own venture. So there needs to be that support system to which you can fall back, and most of us are hesitant to ask for it, but it's very important to realize that it's your right to ask for it. So get that support system in place, ask people to contribute their bit without a guilt, right? So that's the first step before you can think about anything else. The second and the most important in this entire journey of I can see is build your currency. I've said that you've acquired many, many different kind of skills in your search time, the career search time. However, the business has changed, and your recruiters or the organizations you work with or the environment in which you start your own ventures basically would have changed. So it's very important to upgrade your skills and your knowledge to be in tune with the times. Sometimes it requires a mindset change as well. A good education, a good currency helps at that point of time. It's an investment you make, but it enhances your knowledge and skills. And it's a reality that if you upskill yourself, it also kind of gives you a chance to earn higher salary and get back to better roles. Otherwise, I'm sure that, what happens that we all realize that after a break, when we get back, either we are compromising on a salary or compromising on a role, or we get back to the same place, right? Currency is important to take away the effect of time in your career, right? So it's an investment you put which is going to delete the time impact in your career ladder. And therefore, it's extremely important to think about. It's something which is courageous to do, but it's going to pay off in your professional journey, right? Third important is be authentic. As I started with, most of us start doubting ourselves. Our self-esteem is lower, and we try to be what we are not. We realize, what? Probably I'm more sensitive. That's not how a business leader can be. Probably, what? I'm very assertive. That's not what I'm expected to be. Okay, or I'm supposed to be harsh. I'm supposed to be more strict. I'm supposed to show a demeanor which is not what I am. Right? Probably I also need to manipulate. Probably I need to change the way I think. No, nothing of that is required. Because then you're going against a core and you can never be happy in your professional journey. What is required is to be authentic. Accept your leadership style. Accept what you are, right? And hone your skills by building the currency or finding a good mentor who can give you that skill set required to be a global leader. Hold on to your core values. If you think that I'm not going to compromise, if you think that I'm going to be empathic to my workforce, it's absolutely fine. Just be what you are. To be comfortable with yourself is absolutely important. Sensitivity, empathy, diversity, ability to take a holistic approach, all these are feminine qualities which some of us start feeling are not what are required for the corporate world. No, they actually make women better leaders. So if you look at women across the board who are now the corporate leaders, would stand by these qualities. And they would somewhere say that this is what gave us an edge over our male counterparts. Just have a mentor who can help you hone up your skills or integrate your leadership style. Accept yourself. As I said, hold on to your values and accept yourself with your flaws. It's absolutely fine. If you don't have flaws, you're not human, right? Human beings are supposed to have some flaws, and we all should be comfortable with it. We just know how to manage them. We just know how to overcome them with our strengths. So have a good assessment of your strengths and weaknesses. And the first thing, probably, which you do when you get back to a professional career, is to write your SWOT analysis, your strength, weaknesses, and how can you map to the opportunities you have. When our students come to study with us, that's the first thing we do with them, is to write a personal value statement, to assess that what are my deficiencies like, right? But what am I good at? And so what's my personal development plan for the next 1 year? And hence I have a clear direction of what I want to do in my life. So speaking about a mentor is a very, very important constituent in our journey. Not just when we're returning back, for I think each one of us. Because mentor is that one person whom we can trust, who knows us, who knows our capability, and rather than putting us down, would tell us how to leverage our strengths and how to work with our weaknesses. He or she can be a sounding board. He or she is capable of helping us define our journeys, not just professional but personal as well. How to manage the work-life balance. So having a right mentor is basically helping you to find focus and say, how do I work with the resources and the assets I'm carrying with myself? The fourth element. So I was integrate your support system. C was build your currency. A was be authentic to yourself. N, what is N? Build your networks. Networks are extremely critical, right? Networks, we are all hesitant. We become like an introverts. We do not want to tell anybody that we're looking out for a job because we have this thing, okay, if I don't get it, what are they going to think about me? We are hesitant to go back to the people we've worked with, right? This is a time when you need to get your network back. Connect with all your past peers, your colleagues, your bosses, right? Your friends, right? Move out, get into social circles. Tell people that you're ready to bounce back. Tell people to help you. So there are many stories we know of people who just kind of said, okay, you know what, I'm back in the job market, I want to do something, and I've equipped myself with the right skills to do that, right? Help me. And people within their own ecosystem would help you get back, right? Sometimes your network give you opportunity to start with small internships. So as I said in the beginning, that companies could be a little hesitant, right? So try them or help them sample you, so as to say, which is to say, okay, let me do a project with you. Let me work on a particular assignment for a few months. And these kind of support can come with your network, right? So networking is extremely important because you build an ecosystem of supporters who would be giving you certain opportunities. Jobs for All is one such kind of a network where you have mentors and you have participants who get together, pool in their resources, and help each other in whatever way possible. Right? We need to understand one thing, that people's view of us is frozen in time. So we see ourselves probably like this because all this while we've domesticated ourselves and we see ourselves either with our kids or in the kitchen or the family. But trust me, your network remembers you the way you were, a professional woman. Their view has not changed. Your view about yourself has changed. So get back because they still view you the way you were, right? And that's the reason they would be ready to help you. And that's something you just need to realize and understand, that I have a different avatar. I just need to wear that hat to get into that avatar once again. The last part of this I can see is to be confident about yourself. That's extremely important because if you are not confident, you cannot make the other person believe that you can do it. To be able to believe in yourself, to be able to know what you want to do and be very sure about it is extremely important, right? When we start doubting ourselves, we kind of start showing that to the people whom we talk to. And therefore, confidence is the starting to anything. So I can see actually itself starts with that belief and ends with that belief, and rest all in between will kind of subdue itself with it. You will find people who will discourage you. इतने साल काम नहीं किया, अभी कैसे मिलेगा? How will you leave a kid at home, right? You won't be able to do it. Job working requires late hours. You need to work on weekends. You need to work on holidays. Would you be able to manage it? People will tell you, and you need to just tell yourself every time, I know I can do it. I know I've integrated my support system. I know I have it in myself. I know that I understand what I want to do, and actually, I'll be more productive if I now get back to my professional journey. Because what happens if you want to do something else and we are somewhere else? Everything comes down. Probably, even if though we are at home, our time with our kids or our family starts getting compromised because my mind is somewhere else. But if we are doing what we like, we actually give our best at every sphere of our life, right? And that belief has to come from within. And you know what? If people tell you it a lot, just go away so far that you can't even hear them. You just leap so high that you don't hear what those demotivating voices have to tell you. And that's going to happen only when, one, you believe in yourself, you're confident about yourself, you get your network right, you get your support system right, and more importantly, you build your currency so that you are relevant and in line with anybody else or any of the counterparts in the corporate world today, right? That's extremely important. I'm going to play this one video which, kind of tells you that how each of the things which I tell you is important.
If time is money, then life is a bank account. Somewhat like this one. Except some of you might have elephant-sized versions, but you get the drift. So there's a set amount of time in this account. A finite number of years, months, and days in your hands. The question is, what do you want to do with it? See, for men, it's very simple. There's education, then there's higher education, maybe an MBA abroad for that foreign return time. What follows is a 9 to 5 job, 5 to 9 hobby, and weekends for fun and friends, time for family if and when he chooses to settle down. Society's foolproof investment strategy. Now, let's come to the women. There is, of course, basic education, which is the modern criteria for any matrimonial. Then there's settling for a man to settle down with, investing time and energy in raising children, a Rahul, and say a Rina. Household chores, cooking, and just organizing everyone else's life, looking after the elders. And just like that, you've run all out of time. So, what happens to their goals? Their talents and abilities left unexplored? When do they get to dream, to grow, to create? And no, I don't mean procreate. So, here's to all the women out there. It's time to start delegating some of your time elsewhere. It's time to start investing in yourselves. Because if you don't, then who will?
So it's actually a responsibility to yourself to think about yourself, because when you're not doing this, you're not doing justice to yourself and to your family. Because if you are not thinking about yourself, if you're not happy, nobody around you can be happy. So think about this, that if one day you had no limits, what would you want to do? Yes. If there's a day when you have no limits, what would you want to do? Yeah? It's aspirational. I'm sure you all have a dream where you say, wish, aisa nahi hota to we could have done this, right? Yeah, please. Yeah, tell me. If there were no limits, what would you like to do? Yeah?
I would like to travel.
Like to travel. Okay, that's interesting. Travel?
Work for ISRO.
Work for?
ISRO Space Agency.
Oh, astrospace. Interesting. Anybody else? Yeah? Trek. Ah. Yeah, please, I'm sure you have one such moment when you say, wish, मैं ऐसा कर पाती. No? Think about it then now.
I just would love to spend time with my sister more.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
Start my own MNC.
okay. Start my own MNC. Wow, that's interesting. If somebody asked me, I wish I could sleep more, but that's okay. Good. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to invite Lakshmi. Lakshmi is my student, and she took a break from her career, and she's bounced back. Bounced back in a way which is an aspiration to, which is actually an aspiration to everybody and inspiring to me. So I invite her today to share her story of getting back.
Thank you, ma'am. I mean, it's nice to hear those words. I mean, okay, just to quickly introduce myself, I'm Lakshmi. I worked in corporate banking for 12 and a half years. I was in HSBC as a relationship manager. I worked till 2013. Then I had two kids. So obviously I took maternity leave. I was out of the main role that I was doing. And after 2 years, I mean, I had one kid after the other. And then when I decided to get back, I was not kind of happy with the whatever was being offered. I mean, it was my choice. I decided to spend time with my kids. So I took 2.5 years off. Okay. Now, at that time, I did, yes, it was the right decision for me. I wanted to spend time with the kids. I took the decision. But I started realizing after 2 years that I wanted to do something. So it's like, see, yes, I agree that I was a mother, and I mean, I am a mother, I need to take care of them. But I realized that I could not just do only that. Okay, I needed my kids to also know that I'm independent, I can do things. I was not going to bring them up thinking that mama will only make food and she'll be there. So I always had that thing, and I wanted to get back. I was not short of confidence, but when I started applying, I mean, that's when I realized that, as what Ashita ma'am said, we change, but the market and the people outside remain the same. Okay, one is, yes, what they looked at you, but also the fact that, okay, she went on a break. Now, who's the guy or lady who's going to give that amount of time, invest in you and bring you back, that honestly I didn't find, and I started losing my confidence. So I've been applying, and that kind of started working. By chance, I came up on this advertisement of SPJ and starting this unique program. It was the first year that got me talking with my husband as to should I take it up. Now, I had a lot of questions because the first year unique program, how would it work? But my husband actually said, what are you going to do? You'll do 1 year of this course. You'll still keep trying for a job if you're not going to do this course. And at the end of that, what if you still don't get what you want? You're still going to be without any difference, just constantly trying and feeling disappointed. You might as well spend time doing this. So at the end of it, if you want, you actually try for a job too at the side. If you get one, then quit this and join. Otherwise, you'll probably end up having a good brand, and you will probably have a you would get some upskilling and all that. So that's how I actually started the journey. I thought that in 5 months I will get a job and I'll probably move out of this course and I'll just start out my career. But once I was here, I mean, I'll tell you that the first month was a lot of, I think they would have seen us on campus. We were 20 of us, the first batch. Each of us had a background, like I had kids, I was on 6 years break. So I was in a class where everybody understood what you went through. So it's like, everybody had gone on a break. Everybody was a woman who had a kid at home. Some people had left their kids and come to Bombay to do the course. But this feeling started, it was different. We could at least sit in class, discuss a lot of things. And the amazing part was, yes, this course gave us a lot of subject knowledge, upskilling, market information. But what I always remember is the friends I made here, then the way the faculty treated us in terms of, see, they did not question that, oh, you took a break, you came back, why are you trying to get back? We never had to answer that. So we had a constant motivation. I would say the entire year was just a motivating thing. Every professor used to motivate us. When we walk around the campus, give us like, a lot of confidence. And we felt like we were part of that PGDM course, those young guys who are jumping around trying to achieve things. So I think over the 3 months, we all started walking around like we own the campus. To be honest, I remember so many of them saying that you guys are walking around like, as if this whole campus belongs to you. But that 1 year, I mean, if you ask any of my classmates also, we spent all our waking hours there. I mean, it was 1 year of fun, a lot of hard work, okay? Believe me, I had not worked so much studying, I mean, in a college, even in my BCom or wherever, but it was very good because we learned a lot of things. We learned multitasking, real multitasking, okay? While I also have 2 kids and I was doing that, but coming to the college, studying, then going back, taking care of your kids in the sense that you need to give them some time, right? You can't just completely avoid them. But it all worked because I think we could just get that positive energy from everybody around us, including our family. I mean, each of us who did this course in the first year had excellent family support. I mean, I know each of us had different support arrangements and different kinds of setup. But believe me, you ask anybody in my batch and me, I would say, if not for my family, starting from my husband to my mother and father and my in-laws, constantly just letting us do what we want and not pulling us here or making us feel guilty at any point of time was a big thing. So this course, through the year, we had our ups and downs, but then I would say that it was a good thing we chose to do. I chose to do personally because like how ma'am had shown, like, we thought we are in the kitchen and all that, and whereas the world still thought of you like that. I did get that feeling when I finally got back to the market. So once I finished the course and I joined, I could hear a lot of my ex-colleagues saying, oh, you're back finally. So it's not like, they thought that I was spending my time just cooking and all that. So that definitely was there. And thanks to this course, we met some mentors and coaches. We were, working with them. They also helped us navigate this journey and actually get back. So when we got back, and I mean, I've been working for 6 months, 6+ months now, and I'm happy to say that I'm actually in a different role. I'm actually doing a team management role, And I've had nobody ask me that, okay, you were not there for 3 years. I mean, people don't even remember that I was in a break. So I guess I actually realized that if I had done this journey alone, which is before doing the course, I still feel it would have been a struggle because I would have just been a fish in the ocean, and I don't think anybody would have looked out for me like how probably the college and the faculty and my mentor and coach and anybody looked out for us. Yes, it's your own journey too because you have to make that time. I mean, it's not going to be easy. It's not like just subah jao 2 ghante and then you go back. It's going to be a lot of hard work, but believe me, it's the best year of my life. And if you ask any of my classmates, they'll say this is one of the best years of their life. And they always thought that, okay, is this a correct decision? But today, if you talk to them, each and every one of them would say that this definitely was the right decision of our life, whatever age, whatever. I mean, I have a classmate who's 5, 6 years older than me, okay, and I'm not telling her age because she'll get very offended if I do that publicly, but believe me, I had her travel. She used to travel from somewhere far in Navi Mumbai, taking 3 trains and coming to college and going back, doing presentations, studying, taking care of her kids who were like teenagers. So it's a lot of motivation amongst ourselves too. And this kind of bonding, I don't think we would find anywhere. So, I mean, I guess I'm just talking too much about it. But yes, it's brought me back into the corporate world, and it's been a better way to get back rather than do the entire journey alone.
So besides your family support and the education, what all helped you to get back?
I would say mentoring and coaching, which is part of the course, which is actually different for this program. It's not offered for all programs. The college helps us tie up with industry mentors, and there is a life coach. So they're also a coach is somebody who you can talk to about anything. So basically, they understand that you're coming back from a break. You may have so many conflicts. You may have so many questions. You may have so many anxious thoughts. So a coach was somebody whom we could just on a monthly basis call up and just talk for an hour and a half, just to say whatever you want, discuss whatever you want, and the person used to be non-judgmental and give us suggestions or give us probably a suggestion or something that we could probably change and try changing. Uh, Industry mentors, that was very good because these were again people who were in the industry who believed that women like us have to come back. So when you talk to them, we could actually understand, okay, what did we do earlier, what is there in the market. It's about the market too, right? Because when you get back, you need to know what's happening in the market. And while the professors are here in the college to guide us, these people are actually in the market, and they are people who are probably recruiting people like us. So those two were important, and we had something like this growth lab, where that again is something which SPJIMR offers to all its programs, where it's about understanding yourself, your strengths, and then what you need to improve, make goals for yourself. So obviously it got a lot of us thinking because we used to just be running behind a target or running behind something. We never stopped to sit and think all this. But those kind of self-awareness, all that definitely happened through the year. Apart from this, yeah, these things will be something which I would say are unique to the program and definitely help the candidates on the program.
So she's being very modest, which probably is a core value, but Lakshmi is a vice president at Axis Bank today. And she got back with more than 100% jump in her last salary drawn and many, many levels up at what she used to be out there. So I still remember their class, it's as challenging and as interesting to teach the MPW, this class where there are women from diverse backgrounds with, varied work experience right from 5 years to 25 years on a break from 2 years to 20 years, right? And the kind of experience they bring about, I think it's one of the class every prof on campus fights to teach. Because I think each one of us come out learning so much and getting so much of nuggets about how and what life is all about. So thank you so much, Lakshmi. And look at it how she manages. She's here on a Sun weekend for us just to share her experiences. Thank you so much. It means a lot to us. Okay, any questions? So this was just a small attempt to tell you that what is needed. If you see, it's more about that inner will, right? That inner strength that I can do it and you all can do it. There's no difference. There's absolutely no difference, right? And the world doesn't treat you differently. So as she said, SPJIMR is one of the top 10 institutions of India, probably one of the more tough institutions to get into. But students in every program, wanted to be in their class because they wanted to learn from them in some way or the other. And they were all integrating or working together, right? So any questions which we have? Yeah. No questions? On anything, not just about the program, anything.
Or you are not asking any question because I have come to this stage.
So
what
I
a,
always
what,
believe it's
what a man is doing on
it's
the
always
stage, it is
important
there
to
for
have
women.
men work with you on the journey. So,
So-
it's actually very strategic for us to have Anshul supporting our.
Yeah. So actually, if we talk about our first batch, so I was talking about the first batch to our founding chairperson, Professor Sumita Datta. So what she told me was interesting that when we talk about those 20 women in that batch, for almost 60% of them, it was their husband who came and who told Professor Sumita, I want her to do something. Right? I want her to come back to the professional career. Right, Lakshmi?
Yes.
Yeah. So when we talk about that, so this is what this is the information which I got from her, right? So that was actually very interesting. So that is why what institute did was that they attached me to this program, that you work for this program, right? So any questions? Any questions? We would be happy to address any questions. If you,
Anything.
yeah,
It's not just about the program. Anything you want.
yeah.
So more often than not, most women go through a work-life equation transformation. So not all women are wanting to also come back full time. There is a possibility. So is that somewhere incorporated into the program? Is that taken into consideration by the companies that come? So
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the program is full time because we want to leave you with a degree
Yeah,
which the
exactly.
world will recognize long after you've done your program. It's at any level, any other full time management program level. So that 1 year would be full time. But yes, so when you're placed or when we provide placement assistance, so we
Yeah, that's
help
what
you,
I'm
we prepare and we get you through the interviews. Obviously, we don't promise because ultimately what you perform and how you perform determine. But yes, so the job mapping, what kind of industry you want to go to, what kind of company, location constraints, right? You want to go into a part-time or a full-time, or you want to do a project-based assignment, all that. It's basically based on what you want. I mean, you can't be forced into doing something again which you don't want to do.
Okay. Yeah.
So I have a question regarding online courses as well. So these times, so I know there's a big data program as well from SPJIMR, and one of the constraints.
That's SPJIMR Global. That's
Right.
not our institution. Those are two separate
Okay.
institutions. Right?
So my constraint was actually in not investing the time. I totally relate to what Lakshmi said, that I've spent that 1 year getting frustrated, not going anywhere after the break and not getting a job as well. It was the money. So there was no scholarship that they offered, and it was not possible to invest because it's a single earning household, and then you're also not earning, you want to start contributing, but you don't have the funds for the course.
So I can't talk about the big data because, as I said, that's not our institution. For this, it's an investment, right? Online courses are good to enhance knowledge, but they don't add to your qualification, right? So probably the ROI of those courses are more like that you add on a skill, but they don't add to your degree count, right? Or a qualification, as I said. This kind of a course adds to your qualification. So the ROI is not immediate probably, but the ROI is going to be earned over a period of time, yes. Scholarships we also don't offer, but we are trying to get the company supports. Obviously, still it cannot be 100%.
Yeah.
I would probably urge you to think of it as an investment. So, the video said that it's basically saying that today it's like buying a house, right? You may pool in all your resources, you feel crunch at that point of time because you know that 5 years down the line, I'm going to earn more money out of it. And probably it's going to take me 6 years to get back to my break even. So it's that kind of a mindset with which probably we would like to approach this. There is a bank loan option.
Yeah. So financing option is there. See, another thing is when we talk about online courses also. So there is a lot of talk about Coursera.
Yeah.
Right? They offer.
I have like 4-5 specializations.
Yes,
that are
yes.
parallel.
Agree to that. But if you want to convert that into degree,
Yeah.
right? Again, they want money, not in rupees but in dollars, right? And that means in rupee terms you are spending more. So the thing is, from skill point of view, if you just want to upgrade your skills, you want to know what Python is, right? For information technology people, if you want to know what Python language is, how it works, that is okay. But when we talk about corporate, see, it is not only your need, right? It is corporate need also, right? Otherwise, if you talk about companies, you would not have this kind of scenario where you have dedicated positions like diversity and inclusion heads, right? Diversity and inclusion department. But at the end of the day, they also want to be sure that whom I am recruiting is current in terms of knowledge as well as in terms of the skills required. Like yesterday only I was talking to a company, right? So what that person who was the recruitment head, what he said was that today, if you want to lead a team, you need to understand at least one language, right? I was talking to an IT company. You need to understand at least one language, and you need to know how the coding and all other things are done. Why? You are not going to code, but to earn that respect, right? You need to know that specific part, right? You need to have knowledge. Otherwise, your team would not respect you. So it is from that point of view that you need to build up on your knowledge base.
There's another thing because when you are spending that kind of money, you're not just earning a degree, right? In Coursera, yes, you're earning a degree probably, but the moment you call it as an online degree, it's not given the same respect. But when you do any full-time program or a program like this, or really invest in that time, it's basically you are earning more networks. So like for our course, our students are on the SPJIMR alumni, which is more than 10,000 people. So you already build a network. The kind of ecosystem you develop for yourself. So we have 15 country HR heads on my board, including Pidilite, Axis, Bosch, Biocon, you name it, right? So now these people are mentors. They've invested in you for 1 year, right? They also start believing in you. You become like their own child in some way, right? So they track your career and they kind of start feeling responsible for your careers, right? You don't get it in an online education. Whichever place, I'm not saying here, but whatever, you have to look at that investment which you're making. What all are you earning out of it? And hence, your investment increases. Like buying a house in a good location versus a village, you already know that you're also buying much more, though you're investing a little more. So it's that kind of a thing. However, for most of the education today, there are banks supporting and there are financing options which are available. And they are discounted because of the education. So the education loan is always much more discounted than any other personal loan which you acquire.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Yeah.
And how are the placements? I mean, what percentage of students actually get placed?
So we had 98% of students who got placed, but all 100% had an opportunity to sit for at least 3 interviews. Now there were 2% of them who could not convert, right, or who rejected the offer. But to say that nobody got to sit for any interview, no, that has not happened. So I think there is a brochure has that pamphlet as well attached, right? So there is that's my batch, first batch which is already placed. My second batch has already come after their internships. So there are 16 of them who intern. They do a 2 months, 8 weeks internship. So they've already returned. One of them has already got a PPO, the pre-placement offer, and the others still have 4 months to go for the program.
So not everybody cannot go for the internship?
Everybody goes for the internship. It's a compulsory part of the curriculum.
Okay, so there were only 16 students.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a very small batch because it needs to be mapped well. So first of all, the person should be committed enough to do this, because otherwise they fall out of the program. You should have the right experience, so because you know that you can reach a particular level. So it's very carefully chosen, a very small group of students.
See, at the end of the day, we don't want a situation to arise where you have taken a person just to fill a seat, and at the end of the day, that person goes dissatisfied. No, we don't want to do that. We are very clear about it.
There are three people supporting each student. So there's a life coach, there's a corporate mentor, and there's a faculty mentor. So there are three people who work with you. So you require resources become crunch. Any other? Yeah.
This is very similar to the MBA courses.
It is.
So when we talk about this, it is similar to the 1-year MBA course, right? Not similar to the two-year MBA, because see, there is a basic difference between these two courses. 2-year MBA is something where you are getting freshers and all, right? So the orientation of the context for this course and a 2-year MBA course would be different. But yes, when we talk about 1-year MBA course, yes, it is similar to 1-year MBA course. And in fact, when we talk about the specialization, for specialization, the participants of this batch, they sit with the 1-year MBA course batch, right? So specialization is common.
So yes, it's an MBA program, but it's an MBA program with a difference. If you look at any other MBA program, they just give you probably some knowledge and skills, right? But what happens during the time when we are on a career search is that the market has moved on. We probably need to upgrade on our knowledge, but that's still easier to do. It's more important to get that skills and the attitude, which is more important. And believe it or not, the brand name of place you have done your education from holds a high importance in your professional journey. Divya is looking at us. We can take one more last question if any. Any other last question we have? Yeah?
Specialization comes within this 1 year.
Yes. So there are 5 specializations.
And the internships are arranged by you.
Yes, absolutely.
After completing the program, do you have some business that you work from home options?
Work for?
Work from home.
See, as I said, that we do not have options, but based on what your needs are, we'll try to map to your companies, right? So we try to look out for options which are what you want to do. I mean, we are not a placement agency in any way, right? We only have corporate partners, and like any other MBA school, we are trying to get companies to come and find a fit. So obviously, it's based on what you want to do. If you want to work for a company which is work from home option versus full time, obviously the roles and the salary levels would be different. But yes, it's based on what you want to do.
See, at the end of the day, all those profiles are different, and they are to be mapped differently
to every company.
What is the career break duration?
A minimum of 1 year is what we look at, but there's no maximum limit to it. There's no maximum.
And work experience is minimum?
5. Because we're looking at lateral levels, right? It's not a fresher, because then otherwise the market is very cluttered, right? So it's basically, but we are considering if you have a very strong 4 years of experience, then we consider the aptitude.
So is there any higher age limit as the cutoff?
There's no age limit. Lakshmi, without the name, what was the highest age and all that? You're not telling that? It's closer to even, I think, late 40s. So both the batches have students who are in their late 40s.
Do you have to appear for entrance exam?
Yeah, so industry wants to believe, or they have their own requirement when they hire you. So the first batch did not have, but this year we have introduced GMAT, NMAT scores as well. They are more like qualifying exams. We still do not have cutoffs suggested or anything, because but what happens is that companies say that when we are recruiting people at the same level as the other counterparts or other management graduate, we need to show the process of getting into OT school, and for that GMAT gives an edge that you've gone through a rigorous admission process, or there's some kind of a thing. Saying that, actually GMAT is not difficult. If you've taught your kids 9, 10, 10 standard English and maths, that's what GMAT is all about. So it's really a bottleneck, but we help our candidates kind of get through that confidence. It's not like you can't apply without it. You can go through the entire process, and just before you start the course, you can give your GMAT scores. The only problem is that getting the placement without a GMAT is a problem. So we are looking at people who do not want placements and do not want to give GMAT, it's okay. But if you're looking for placements, then GMAT is an important requirement without saying that you need to have a particular score.